This is a summary of Dr. David Anderson, The Biology of Aggression, Mating, and Arousal, where we break down the key insights, ideas, and takeaways from this content, giving you the gist so you can decide if you want the rest. Dr. Andrew Huberman interviews Dr. David Anderson, a professor of biology and neuroscience at Caltech, whose research focuses on the biological basis of emotions and internal states. This discussion explores the difference between emotions and states and why states drive behavior, the neural circuits that control aggression, mating, and arousal, why aggression and sexual behavior share overlapping brain circuits, how different forms of aggression, male-male, male-female, female-female, are regulated in the brain, the role of neuropeptides like tachykinin in aggression and social isolation, why social isolation increases aggression and anxiety, how emotions and states influence our decision-making and behavior. Dr. Anderson's research provides groundbreaking insights into the neural mechanisms that drive aggressive and sexual behaviors and how they relate to mental health, emotions, and decision-making. Emotions versus states, understanding the brain's internal drivers. What's the difference between emotions and states? Emotions, happiness, sadness, anger, fear, are often considered psychological constructs. States, arousal, motivation, aggression, sleep, are biological and govern behavior more directly. States persist over time and influence multiple behaviors, whereas emotions fluctuate quickly. How states shape perception and decision-making. States bias how we interpret experiences. E.g., if you had a bad day at work, you might be more likely to snap at someone at home. Internal states drive behavior more than external stimuli. For example, a hungry animal seeks food even when no food is present. Key insight. States determine how we perceive the world and respond to challenges, shaping everything from aggression to mating behaviors. The biology of aggression, what drives violent behavior. Different types of aggression and their neural circuits. Dr. Anderson explains that aggression is not a single behavior, but a spectrum of responses with different biological mechanisms. 1. Male-male aggression, driven by dominance, territory defense, and competition for mates. 2. Male-female aggression can occur in mating-related conflicts. 3. Female-female aggression, often seen in maternal defense or social hierarchy disputes. 4. Predatory aggression, different from social aggression, involves hunting and feeding behaviors. The ventromedial hypothalamus, the brain's aggression center. The VMH is the primary brain region involved in aggression. Electrical stimulation of the VMH can instantly trigger violent attacks in mice, even against inanimate objects like a glove. Aggression neurons in the VMH are distinct from fear neurons but are located close together. Why are fear and aggression circuits so close together? Evolutionary reasons. Defensive aggression and fear responses are both critical for survival. Neural efficiency. Having these circuits near each other may help the brain switch between fight or flight responses. Key insight. Aggression is not just an emotional response. It is controlled by specific brain circuits that can be activated or suppressed depending on context. How mating and aggression share overlapping brain circuits. The surprising link between aggression and sexual behavior. The VMH, which controls aggression, also contains neurons that regulate mating behavior. Stimulating the wrong neurons in the VMH can cause a mouse to switch from mating to attacking in an instant. In some species, mating behaviors include aggressive components, such as biting and dominance displays. Neurochemical controls of aggression and sex. Testosterone does not directly cause aggression. Instead, aggression neurons in the VMH are activated by estrogen. Progesterone, traditionally considered a female hormone, also plays a role in male aggression. Hormones modulate aggression and mating behavior differently in males and females. Key insight. Aggression and mating behaviors share overlapping neural pathways, which explains why they can sometimes mix or transition rapidly. How social isolation increases aggression and anxiety. The role of tachykinin, the aggression peptide. Anderson's lab discovered that social isolation triggers the release of a neuropeptide called tachykinin, TK2, which increases aggression and anxiety. Mice that were socially isolated for 2 weeks had much higher levels of tachykinin. Blocking tachykinin eliminated aggression and anxiety in isolated mice. Similar findings exist in humans. People with high aggression tend to have elevated tachykinin levels. Why is social isolation so dangerous? Humans are social animals. Our brains are wired for connection. Prolonged isolation disrupts brain chemistry, increasing aggression, anxiety, and depression. This may explain why school shooters and violent offenders often have a history of social isolation. Key insight. Social isolation causes biological changes in the brain that increase aggression and fear responses, potentially leading to violent behavior. Why temperature and arousal matter in aggression and mating. The medial preoptic area, arousal and temperature regulation. The MPOA regulates sexual behavior, temperature control, and arousal. This may explain why the phrase, "in heat," is linked to mating behavior. Stimulating the MPOA can trigger both mating behaviors and body temperature changes. Does heat increase aggression? Violent crime increases in the summer, but is this due to heat or social factors? The brain's temperature regulation and aggression circuits are linked, but we don't fully understand why. Key insight. Temperature and arousal may influence aggressive and mating behaviors, but the mechanisms are still being explored. How emotions and states influence human behavior. Human emotions are linked to body sensations. People consistently report feeling emotions in specific body regions, e.g., anger in the chest, anxiety in the stomach. This suggests that emotions are deeply connected to physiological states and bodily sensations. The vagus nerve, a critical link between brain and body. The vagus nerve connects the brain to the heart, gut, and other organs. Stimulating the vagus nerve can reduce stress, improve mood, and regulate emotional states. Key insight. Emotions are not just in the brain. They involve full-body responses that influence decision-making and well-being. Final thoughts. Dr. David Anderson's research redefines our understanding of emotions, states, aggression, and mating behavior. Aggression and sexual behavior share overlapping brain circuits, explaining why they sometimes mix. Social isolation increases aggression and anxiety by altering brain chemistry. Tachykinin may be a key target for treating aggression and stress-related disorders. Temperature and arousal influence both aggression and mating, but the exact mechanisms are still being studied. By understanding the biology of aggression, arousal, and states, we can develop better treatments for mental health disorders and improve social and emotional well-being. That's a wrap on Dr. David Anderson, the biology of aggression, mating, and arousal. If you found this summary valuable, make sure to follow, subscribe, and join us for the next one. Stay tuned for more in-depth breakdowns of science-backed strategies to improve your mind and life.